really, the more you practice, what I have found is there's this, and for however long that takes, there comes a time when you can begin to separate yourself and see what's happening and see what you're doing to yourself. You begin to be able to be a little bit of an observer, and you begin to maybe a little bit intellectually understand, I see what's happening here, and I know it's not truly me. It's how I'm responding to all of this. And when you have, to me, that was only going to become possible with continued practice. I can't say it enough. Practice. And you begin to have some relief from the enmeshment of it, of the absorption of it, how it brings you in. You can't think clearly when you're so in and absorbed by it and enmeshed in it. And the only way to get some kind of separation, some kind of space, as long as you're working the tool, there comes a moment, I truly believe, where you do get that space and you begin to see things happening for the real reasons why they're happening, and that they can be undone, and that you build off of that. But the more I sit around afraid, the more I sit around not practicing, the more I re-engage in staying in my safe place because I'm having painful practice, it keeps me in that self-absorption. It keeps me enmeshed in all of it. It keeps me, the question of, but I feel this intense all the time. How do you get out of that? Well, I don't feel, I mean, I could be wrong, but I know for me, I didn't get separation from it all, or have the ability to look at it until a lot of practice took place. But once I got an inkling of that, the exponential growth of what it really was and what was really going on took a whole different level of progress as I began to understand that, and the confidence of it. See, my trip to Greece is not that I have this major anxiety disorder and problem that I have to manage while I go and be prepared for. I'm Patrick Toohey. I have a oversensitized nervous system. That's all that it is. I can have a tendency to overreact to feelings, thoughts, and sensations. It has nothing to do, the fight is the anxiety. That's all that is. And when I let go of all of that and just allow myself to be this person who I am and not enmeshed in it, because I forget how that feels to get enmeshed in it. I forget how it feels to be totally absorbed by it. I forget how it feels to constantly have my antenna up on everything I absolutely do. That can't take place to me until I get some separation from it. The only way I got separation from it was practice and practice and practice while I felt like shit.
Yes, practice feeling shitty, but just feeling shitty. It's so backwards, but I hope everybody's getting this.
That moment happens, it occurs. And when you get there, it's such a beautiful, wonderful thing.
And because this is when the illusion, right? The illusion lifts. That anxiety is this illness, something is wrong with me, my brain is damaged, it's something that I'm not doing, it's something external, an oppressing force, something that will harm me and kill me, and it's restricting me. When you truly realize that moment, this is only my doing, 100% only my doing, this feels amazing. It feels so free. But like Patrick said, you only get that by allowing it in fully, being 100% willing to experience it, to have it, and still do what you plan to do. Because then it clicks in the brain. Oh, it didn't happen. I didn't go crazy. I didn't faint. I didn't suffocate. I didn't have a heart attack. I didn't have a stroke. None of these things happened. And then you gain that confidence and that strength to start being the hunter. That is hard in the very beginning, but trust the process. Even though I know it's hard to trust when you don't have any good experience. This is the hardest part. It's like jumping off a cliff, not knowing if there's a safety net. That's the hardest thing. But here is where you have to trust the thousands of people who have done that and who felt exactly the same way you are feeling now and who are good now. You have to trust that. What's the alternative? You have nothing.
The alternative is living as if a tree's about to fall on you every day for the rest of your life, just in case a tree falls on you. And that's exhausting.
I always have to thank Michelle, because the first 4 months, she constantly would tell me that you did not like me. You have to go out and you have to tell us about it next week. And I would say, you can kiss my ass. I'm not. There's no way I'm you're telling me to go out and get more afraid and more. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. And to this day, I can't thank her enough for staying on me and pushing me. And because she knew that that's what needed to be done to get to the other side. And it's not complicated. And I don't want to sound insensitive, because it really is. It's not. It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so tricky, because I say a lot, it's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of times what makes it so hard. When you say do nothing, even do is like an action verb. It's like, oh, tell me how do I do nothing? Let me get a pencil, it's a Post-it. I'm going to practice doing nothing today. I'm going to keep track of how much I did nothing of today. I'm going to time how much nothing I did. That's a lot of something for nothing. And some people take it literally. Like, I had stayed home and did absolutely.
Oh, you're frozen there, Michelle.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here you are. You're back.
Oh, so it's really do nothing about the things there's nothing to do about. Okay? Do lots of things about the things you can do stuff about. Go do life. Go notice these things. Notice your thoughts. Notice your feelings. You are not meant to get rid of them. They are not to be gotten rid of. If you are trying to get rid of these, anxiety is energy that you're creating, and the energy has no place to go. Send that energy towards things that you can send it somewhere. Go actively get involved in life while you bring the stuff you might not particularly like, but since you can't fight it away, like Ida was saying, it's the willingness, because you're not creating discomfort or getting rid of it. You had no control over it anyway. You're going to feel it. So you can either just feel it and hate it, but just feel it, or feel it and do this the whole time that it's there. And it's not going to change this at all. It's like looking in a fish tank and seeing some shitty, ugly fish in the back going, no, go in the back, go in the back, go in the back, until it swims into the back. You didn't do anything about the damn fish, but you did a lot of this. And now you're associating fish bad, right? Like I was saying, it's a dumb part of the brain. Fish bad, bright fish good, no bad fish, right? It's like, leave the fish alone. Leave the stuff you don't like alone. Pay attention to the stuff you do like, and go do more of those things. This is the opposite. Anxiety dare is not about focus on what you need to get rid of. This stuff. Focus on what you want to grow more of. The goal is irrelevance and indifference. This is a fading process. The discomfort fades when the confidence grows. So all of this is how to grow your confidence and trust in yourself. And that will not come until you start allowing discomfort. And discomfort means allowing fear. Fear will always feel scary, but we don't need to be scared of scared. And we practice that by not fighting scared.
I want to give you an example. Every year, it's the same. As soon as summer comes, the first week when it's really, really warm, like 30 degrees, and I sleep under the roof in my room, it gets so hot. The first week, it's awful for me. My blood pressure drops and I always feel like on edge and kind of like with low blood sugar and kind of panicky, but I'm not anxious about it. So my body is doing something. My heart is beating faster and my amygdala is reacting to that. So, and one night last week, I woke up in the middle of the night, sweaty. My heart was racing. I had a full-blown panic attack and experienced DP. I got up. I was like, oh yeah, that's the heat. A glass of water, stood outside for a while, went back to bed and slept. And you know what? The next day, I felt kind of on edge. My appetite was low. I had palpitations. What is that? Biological stress system.
Yeah. Leftovers.
But leftovers. But you see, and this is where we want you to be. We want you to experience sensations raw as they are, but not add fear to them. And when you experience it like that, oh, that's a palpitation. Oh, here, that was a fleeting moment of DP. Oh, my pulse is racing, whatever it is. And don't add fear to it. This is where you want to be. Then everything else fades away in time. And I would like to leave you with one little exercise. If you have fear of sensations, for example, a skipped heartbeat or a twitching, whatever it is, just notice, oh, here was the sensation and here was my fear. Try to separate those two because they come together. It's such an immediate fast process, sensation, fear, reaction. And just try to separate those two and say, oh, that was a palpitation. And look, here was my fear. Just notice that and move on. And you will find that, oh my God, those are two different things. They're separate. They don't belong together. And this is where you can then work and say, okay, let's just, I love that. Michelle always says that, just a palpitation, just a sensation, just a thought. Nothing more. And if you take away the added stories and meanings and evaluations, then this is really all you need to do.
Do you guys get this? Do you see this? Anybody in the chat? Like, it's not what happened. What Aida just described something that happened. But the way we describe what happened is like, that could have been described by anybody on those Facebook pages. Oh my gosh, guys, trigger warning, setback alert. And every year, what do? Every year this comes up and every year I get thrown into the setback and here I am, heart palpitations and now I'm on edge and I woke up the next morning and it's still there and I got my dare books back and I got my audios back in and what do I, look at all of the actions that were taken. But like your story is same facts, but different response to the facts. That's why it's called the dare response, not the dare elimination method. The setback is in how you treat the return of discomfort, not a return of discomfort, right? Anxiety is not the problem. The anxiety disorder is how when we treat anxiety as a problem. It's weird. It doesn't become a problem until we try to get rid of it and we label it as the problem, which then
that's a disorder. Yeah, then this is where the disorder starts, right?
Right.
And our bodies do weird shit all the time. It's just when we're sensitized, our flashlight is on everything. We notice everything, every little heartbeat. We notice everything. But we feel this all the time. Our bodies do that. They fluctuate. They do things. Trust your body and allow it to do weird things. And sometimes, like in my case, uncomfortable things. But my body had a reason. It was the heat. Maybe I haven't hydrated enough that day. I don't know, but there was a reason for this. And it was nothing dangerous. Try to see your sensations as that. Oh, my body is doing weird shit. All right, fine. Okay, let's go with that. And before turning to reassurance or going to the ER, going to the doctor for another follow-up appointment, why not say to yourself, well, I'm going to observe the sensation for 7 more days. If it gets worse, I can still go.
Right. Let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see if my body does this again. Again, it's subtle, but it puts space. Oh, let's see if my body does this again. I'm going to be more like the observer. I'm going to notice if I have that weird little twitch again. Oh yeah, I did. Huh. Okay. So in 7 days, when I call my doctor, I'll let them know. Oh yeah, I noticed a lot of them were in the mornings. Okay. Like with that sense, rather than, oh my God, what's this? Oh my God. Oh, I gotta do something right now, right? It's if there was no fear, like you said, a great line before, it's like you kind of take fear out of the equation. A lot of times that helps differentiate danger. And that was some of the questions that came in, like, how do I know if it's real danger or not? And usually that's always tied up with health anxiety, right? Like, how do I know if I'm really dying or not? Like, well, there's a lot of time you can identify danger without fear. Like you can see a car accident outside and know it's a situation that needs to be attended to without the fear. Fear just helps you attend to danger. Problem is we start feeling fear fear magnifies sensations, and we kind of create danger out of those sensations, right? Ooh, everybody who has a heart attack gets heart palpitations. I'm noticing heart palpitations. What if this is a heart attack? Like, we play it in the opposite direction rather than I'm having a heart attack right now and let's deal with it now. It's I'm having discomfort right now and it reminds me of something that could happen. So guys, pay attention to feels like it's gonna, what if it does, even if it's 2 seconds into the future, right? It's not here. What's here is discomfort attached to some idea of future danger.